What's going on, guys? I'm just outside of Phoenix at Salt River, and this is kind of the official start of this Southwest US series on the channel. I'm with Chris and Mike. We're leading a workshop here in Arizona for like 7-8 days, something like that. Mostly in northern Arizona, Page, Sedona area, and it should be a lot of fun. So I'm stoked. There should be a lot of cool locations, hopefully some cool photos, and a bunch of new places that I haven't been before. Yeah, let's hit the road.
I guess I should have said, let's catch a sunset, some sleep, and then hit the road in the morning. From Phoenix, we cruise northbound on the I-17 and then the 89 before crossing the border into Utah, where we caught basically every bump on the road possible on our way to one of the most epic views of Lake Powell.
We just got to Alstrom Point, just outside of Page. It was a pretty gnarly drive. I'd say about an hour and a half, of which a half an hour was really bumpy. But the Jeep did the trick. We're here. It is a serious viewpoint. I've got some new toys, some new tripods. I'll talk about them next video. I'll use them this video, talk about them next one, if that makes sense. But let's take some pictures.
We'll get into the gear next video. So if you're not subscribed and want to know what sticks I'm kicking under my camera at landscape photography locations like this, hit that sub button and the notification bell. On this vlog though, we're searching for new photos, new adventures, and new landscape photography locations here in northern Arizona and southern Utah. And Alstrom Point is a good, albeit challenging starting point. And after scouting for about an hour, I think I found an image that works.
So I always kind of struggle with finding scale in places like this, because this view is epic. It's huge. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful, but it's hard to capture that. So I used to always do the long exposure selfies, or the long, just the selfies in general. And that's why I kind of set up here. I'm here with a 70-200, and over that way, you have a butte sticking out, and there was some side light hitting it, and there's a cliff edge over there. And I asked Mike if he could take some blurry photos of me. No, he hit the sharpness despite the fact that I didn't have my camera properly set. And I sprinted over there. Well, Fat Man Brendan sprinted over there, stood on the ledge, and the photo came out really cool. And now the light's gone pink and purple and really beautiful after sunset. So I'm gonna switch a 24-70 on and just try to capture something here. Navajo Mountain's got some beautiful color behind it. There's nice soft light everywhere. And this is the perfect way to start this trip.
One of the things a lot of landscape photographers have to get used to in Arizona is waiting until after sunrise for their photos. It's here that the magic seems to happen. 15-20 minutes after sunset, the pinks and purples come out, and the images start to make themselves. After a couple photos and a bumpy ride into Page in the dark, we headed off to another new landscape photography location in the morning, Toadstool Hoodoos.
We've come to a location I haven't been to in years, and the only time I've been here is the middle of the day, and I'm really excited about. And it's the Toadstool Hoodoos, which is actually in Utah. We're starting this Arizona trip with 2 Utah locations. Go figure. But it's beautiful here. And it's also one of the hardest things to do in photography. Show up to a place you haven't been before, or you haven't photographed before, in the dark, and hope you get a photo. It's even harder here in Arizona, because in Arizona, the light changes really fast. So you really kind of have to work at seeing things in the dark. Luckily the moon's out, so it should be easier today. And yeah, this location is so cool. So I was just saying to the group is when I come to a location like this, what I tend to try to do is find my subject. Here it was kind of easy, this giant toadstool hoodoo that's absolutely beautiful. And then once I found that, I like to kind of circle it and try to find a foreground element that I really like. I'm looking for leading lines, I'm looking for anchors, something interesting to put in front of the subject to give it more dimension and depth. And so I found lines here, I don't know if I like it yet, that kind of lead towards the hoodoo. The sky is super harsh already because the sun's coming up, so I'm thinking I might need to change this composition, but essentially I'm gonna try to get a couple different compositions this morning, just walking around the Hoodoo looking for different foregrounds.
My gut tells me that this photo isn't that good, so let's move on. I have a rule in photographing new locations. Explore. If you find something, photograph it, and if you love it enough, wait for the best light. If you don't love it though, mark it in your memory and move on. You can always come back to it. After some searching, I do think I found a photo, although I'm not sure I love it yet. The light though?
Ooh, the sky is popping off and it is absolutely epic right now. The light is best behind us, but there is some good wispy stuff happening here. Lots of pinks, lots of blues. I've just photographed this yucca that I quite like, but the yucca might be a little bit too big in the frame, a little bit too distracting. And yes, it's called a yucca, not a yucca. And I'm working on a second frame here that I'm not sure works, but it's more simple. And it's just got this curve of the rock here leading into the sky and into the Hoodoos. And I'm shooting a 30-second exposure just to get some wispiness in the clouds, but honestly, I could go totally filter free right now. The setup is really simple. 30 seconds f11, ISO 100, and then without a filter it'd be about 1 second exposure. So it's an artistic decision.
Normally, once I get a wide-angle landscape photo I like, I pop on my telephoto lens and explore some details. The moon was still out, so I tried to frame it within a couple of the capped Hoodoos. Then, I dug deeper.
Okay, I think I found something else that's totally different than what I thought I was going to be shooting. There's a tree or bush or something that's over there, and the way the water's flowed through here, it's created like a little tiny canyon. The landscape here is actually very delicate, and so it's carved away at this wall and exposed the root of it, almost like seeing a skeleton through an x-ray. And I'm putting that in the bottom of my frame, and then I've got one of these badland hills in the background and a little bit of light. And I think it works. It's definitely not my normal style, but the lines of the hill in the background, the lines in the foreground, they match. It kind of feels like it's leaning a little bit because of it, but I think it works. Somehow it works. It doesn't really follow any rules of composition other than the rule of it looks cool. And I'm so happy with how this morning went.
Does it look cool though? Maybe I'm just short on sleep. I don't know. What do you think? Does it work? I'm torn. I think I hate it actually. But a fun morning regardless, and such a cool location. And I think the best new location is still yet to come.
Okay, had a bit of a relax midday, and now we're about to get unrelaxed because we're heading to White Pocket, and I don't have a mic on. So you're probably hearing the wind. Let's put a mic on. Okay, mic engaged. Not Mike Perea, microphone. But yeah, we're heading to White Pocket. The road is bad. It's mostly sand. We're gonna need to be in four-wheel drive. I picked up this rental car in California, and it has like no tread on it. So we might need to lower the air a little bit, get through the sand a little bit later, but we'll find out. I'm gonna bet that I don't get stuck, because I'm positive.
I can see I'm losing.
I'm definitely not getting stuck. Yeah, not in his.
Why do you think you're not gonna get stuck?
Well, my tires are a little different than yours.
But it's a Toyota.
Toyota or Jeep, they both handled it.
I didn't sleep and I can't find myself.
We got a little bit squirrely at one point and went a little bit sideways another. But through the soupy slop and the sandy trenches, we eventually bumped our way to smoother ground.
And I wish that I could start again.
Mike just said that this is the worst he's ever seen the road. It was soupy and awesome. It was actually a lot of fun. The Jeep was sliding around, but yeah, it was fun. And now we're on some snow at higher elevation. I think it should be better now. Yeah, got the Jeep a little bit muddy. It was good times.
I'm pretty sure I can't take the Jeep back to the rental company like this. but I'm kind of tempted to do it, you know, just to see the reactions. I mean, seriously though, what's the point of having a Jeep if you're not gonna muddy the windscreen?
Can I start again? Can I start?
We made it, and that was actually a lot of fun. I love four-wheel driving. It's so much fun. Definitely, it was soupy. We didn't get stuck, but wow, like even right here, the mud is like, it's like ice mud. It's so weird. But yeah, we're here at White Pocket. I've never been to White Pocket. It's one of Mike's favorite spots, and I'm excited.
Right away, you can see why White Pocket is such a popular spot for landscape photographers. Not only is it unique, beautiful, and just a perfect conduit for creativity, but the tough road here means that you'll rarely find anyone else. Our group has it all to ourselves.
I love all the snow in northern Arizona this time of year, but it's maybe the one location I wish there wasn't right now, because in these Badlands you get all this really beautiful, all these beautiful formations and shapes on the rock, and the snow is covering a lot of it. But we've come down to a lower section down here, and there is more exposed rock. So I'm gonna try to find some sort of foreground. There's some wispy clouds in the sky. Hopefully we can make a photo.
I'm treating this like a location scouting mission, as we'll be back in White Pocket on the next episode. I just want to take it all in. I want to explore. Exploration has always been a part of my life. I've traveled the globe for over 10 years straight now. But in my photography, I feel like I've only really started to explore a location in depth fairly recently. I used to settle for the obvious frame. I used to be content with a wide-angle hero photo with epic light. I don't think I really started quote-unquote making photos until like a half-decade into my career. I want to make a photo here, if not for today, tomorrow. And luckily, I found a couple shots. A valley of lines leading to light and snow. Shadows of snow S-curving to a softly lit peak. Cracked earth and a rainbow hillside. And beautifully bent earth twisting to stunning light. White Pocket? Yeah, this place is epic.
Would you quit with the cold words? Take it on your shoulders. Throw away cold.
What an awesome 24 hours of photography here. I will say though, the light definitely failed us here at White Pocket. I had 5 or 6 or 7 different compositions that I liked, that I was planning on running around to when the light happened, if the light happened. Planning back this way for some clouds, because that's where it all was. And then like 15 minutes before sunset, all the clouds just totally just vanished, and they went off in the other direction, and there was no time to figure anything out that way. So yeah, I don't think I got anything spectacular, but I got a couple photos that are okay for sure. And I think overall over the past 24 hours, there is like 5 3-star images. So I'm stoked about it, and we're coming back here tomorrow. So on the next episode, we'll be back, and hopefully we get better light.